Executives keep asking if AI is safe to scale. Short answer, not with yesterday's controls. Surveys show strategy gaps, training gaps, even compliance gaps with the European Union AI Act. Here's what the numbers really say. The story starts with urgency and a mirror. Organizations are racing to adopt artificial intelligence for advantage, but the readiness to govern it, secure it, and audit it has not kept pace. An EY survey from Europe West puts a fine point on it. Conducted from February to April 2025, it captured 57 responses across 55 companies and a spread of roles that includes IT managers, risk managers, legal directors, auditors, and executives. The data is organized into 3 chapters, covering methodology and respondent background, strategy, and the mix of risk management with responsible implementation. Percentages are rounded to the nearest whole number, which is why some totals do not hit 100%. The picture is familiar to any leader trying to scale AI. Many organizations do not have a defined adoption strategy, and that absence blocks value creation before it even starts. Almost 1/3 of respondents either have a strategy on paper with no implementation or no strategy at all. A significant 28% have not considered incorporating AI into their strategic frameworks in any way. Even where the strategy exists, the execution is stuck, and that means missed opportunities to turn AI into real competitive advantage. Governance is where the cracks widen. 7 out of 10 organizations lack a well-defined AI governance model with clear roles, responsibilities, and processes. Fewer than 1/3 say they actually have that model in place. Leaders recognize the obvious risks, ranking data and privacy, and then IT and security at the top. But the low ranking of third-party risks suggests exposure in an interconnected environment where models, services, and data rarely live in one stack. Formal policies are patchy. Almost half of respondents do not have defined policies for the use of AI. Controls are not there either. 80% still need to develop risk management controls that are specific to AI. Regulatory awareness is not the bottleneck. About 80% of organizations are aware of the European Union AI Act, and many have completed or planned impact assessments. But awareness has not translated into execution. A concerning 72% are not fully compliant with the regulation, with a few sectors like energy and retail ahead of the pack. Inside the enterprise, data management responsibilities are not consistently assigned or governed. Organizations frequently default to training and awareness sessions for data protection, which is good, but that is not the same as standing up continuous processes for data collection, for AI training, defining the full life cycle of AI systems, and keeping models updated. Between 23% and 30% of organizations lack a defined process or even plans to build one across those 3 foundational areas. Audit readiness is blunt. Only 10% of companies say they are fully prepared to audit AI systems. Ethical awareness is not much better. 1/3 of respondents do not promote AI ethical principles inside the organization in any way. Workforce enablement trails need. Only 33% of organizations provide comprehensive training on AI governance, risk, and compliance. Almost 1/4 do not provide any such training and have no plans to develop it. The net of all of this is straightforward. Without frameworks and skills, the risk profile goes up as adoption accelerates. Now put that against the external threat curve leaders face. At the 2025 RSA conference in San Francisco, more than 40,000 security and technology professionals converged around a single theme. Artificial intelligence is not just changing cybersecurity, it is redefining it. Agentic AI is stepping into core operations, while attackers weaponize the exact same capabilities. Breakout times for intrusions are now often under an hour. Adversaries are using AI to generate convincing phishing at scale, build fake websites and deepfake videos, and inject malicious prompts or code into workflows. Model poisoning is not theoretical. If you rely on models for detection, they can be targeted for manipulation. Retrieval augmented generation was a constant thread in those discussions because securing the retrieval path, validating sources, and keeping context clean are now part of defense, not just architecture. The response has to match the speed. Defensive systems that use AI are cutting mean time to detect, mean time to respond, and mean time to recover by analyzing vast telemetry in real time, connecting context across silos, and identifying anomalies before they bloom into incidents. It is everything from spotting unusual login patterns, to reverse engineering malware variants on the fly, to flagging east-west network movements that look like staging for ransomware, to predicting where the next vulnerability will land based on historical data. Automation is not a slide in a roadmap anymore. AI agents are moving towards semi-autonomous roles in the Security Operations Center, from alert triage to investigation to response actions to the background research that once ate entire shifts. More than 90% of AI capabilities in cybersecurity are expected to come from third-party providers. which means most enterprises will consume AI inside tools they already use for security posture management, zero trust, secure access, service edge, and identity. That is a good thing for speed, but it also increases dependency on vendor risk and on the fundamentals of your own environment. If you do not know the who, what, where, and when of your estate, including non-human identities, multi-cloud assets, and the post-merger sprawl of systems, your security AI lacks a mission to protect. The legal system just offered a live case study of AI adoption with governance up front. On September 17, 2025, the American Arbitration Association International Center for Dispute Resolution announced an AI arbitrator developed with Quantum Black AI by McKinsey. The launch is set for November 2025, starting with eligible documents only construction cases where speed and efficiency are essential. The design is explicit about human in the loop. Every output is validated step by step by an arbitrator. The tool reviews filings and supporting documents, breaks down claims into component arguments, and generates draft awards grounded in decades of case data and experience. The data foundation matters here. Lawyers and dispute resolution experts annotated more than 1,000 prior construction cases to create a high-quality data set and an accompanying reasoning framework. The organizational shift matters too. The collaboration moved from waterfall to agile, modernized the tech stack to be AI native, and built a new go-to-market motion to educate and reach customers. Transparency was not a veneer, it was how adoption took hold. The plan is to expand to more industries, dispute types, and higher value claims once the initial domain is proven. So, how do you grow without locking everything down or opening the gates? Deloitte frames the answer as right-sizing AI security, and it is a discipline executives need to lead. Ajay Arora calls out the two bad extremes. If you are too restrictive, you blunt the creativity and agility that AI brings. If you are too lax, you invite risk, from data leakage to model manipulation to reputational damage. Right-sizing is pragmatic. Calibrate controls to the use case, the threat landscape, and the maturity of your organization. Using AI to automate an internal process is not the same as deploying a customer-facing generative AI experience. The controls should reflect those differences. It means asking simple but rigorous questions at the top. Are we clear on the business outcomes we expect from AI? Have we mapped risks, known and unknown? Are our teams empowered to balance speed with safety in real time? Duncan Molyneux draws the line straight to data governance. The value, accuracy, and appropriateness of AI output depends directly on the quality and timeliness of inputs, whether the data lives in training and tuning or is pulled at inference to answer a prompt. In real companies, business documents make up most of that input. That raises the bar for 3 foundational controls. Manage the full data lifecycle so stale or irrelevant material does not bleed into models. Classify data so sensitive or proprietary information is protected from unnecessary exposure. Assign clear ownership so accountability and context live with the data from creation to archival. Education matters, not as a one-off workshop, but as a recurring program, so employees can choose the right tool for the job and understand what good output looks like. All of this lands just as public policy in the United States resets incentives. The White House released Winning the Race, America's AI Action Plan pursuant to Executive Order 14,179. It is a roadmap with more than 90 federal policy measures and 3 related executive orders, all meant to accelerate AI innovation and adoption, build secure AI infrastructure, and counter advances by foreign rivals. The security lane calls for secure by design standards for models and their applications across the federal government, for sharing AI security threat intelligence across critical infrastructure sectors, and for issuing guidance on responding to AI-specific vulnerabilities and threats. It also encourages collaboration with leading United States-based AI developers so the private sector can better secure AI innovations. In Risk and Controls, it points to revising the NIST AI Risk Management Framework and to promoting open source and open weight models. In regulation, it leans deregulatory. Repeal rules that unnecessarily hinder AI development or deployment. Expedite environmental permitting for AI infrastructure. Review ongoing Federal Trade Commission investigations so they do not unnecessarily burden innovation. Consider withholding funding in states with burdensome AI regulations. Ask the Federal Communications Commission to evaluate whether state AI regulations interfere with its statutory duties. None of that means a free-for-all. It is a move toward rationalized regulation, and it will likely collide in contrast with approaches in the European Union, in China, and in other jurisdictions that are regulating developers, service providers, and companies that employ AI. AI. Export controls get sharper teeth. Expect increased global semiconductor export control enforcement, tighter tracking of advanced AI compute via location verification, a stronger focus on the full chip and AI supply chain, including manufacturing subsystems, and a push for plurilateral policies and technology diplomacy to align protections. An executive order on the AI tech stack and export controls builds on those recommendations. The implication for companies is practical. You will need visibility into hardware location and into intangibles like software, data, and models across the product lifecycle, and you will need the agility to adjust as the rules evolve. Step back and the pattern is clear. The market is moving in two modes at once. Leaders are embracing next-generation AI-enabled defenses, and at the same time, many large enterprises still have to fix the basics in IT asset management, vulnerability management, and identity and access management. The companies that pull ahead will do two things well. They will operationalize governance before the next policy wave hits, and they will build the estate knowledge that gives their security AI a mission. That is how you turn AI from a risk into an ally while preserving the speed the business needs. See you on the next one.